Tuesday. Starting to peel a little bit from last weekend out there in the sun with Hartstorn. We have the hell virus, so I'm starting that one soon. Hopefully next week or two. Race car, head is off. Ah! Part of the Procharger fin. Hung the valve open. Cocked it to the side a bit. And then that caused the valve right here to touch the piston dome. Right there. See if I bring that up. There we go. So a little mark, a little tap. So we're going to pull the valve out. We got to pull the valve out to get the piece of fin out of it, and then check the valve for how crooked it is, because it's probably bent. So another intake valve down the drain. But I do have more, so I'm going to put another one in there. And then I'm going to have to do a little bit of sanding, a little bit, knock down some little ridges here. What was left of the helicoil from the number 8 intake went down into the cylinder and got munched up. Then I got some speckles, some stuff here and there. So I mean, really nothing too bad. I can get all that taken care of pretty quick. So not bad. So I'm gonna fix some thread certs, get a single valve job done. Seems like such a waste. But we gotta do it. And then what else I got going on? I think that's about it. I have a list of things. Actually, let me look at my list. See what I'm missing. Let's see, I got a trailer panel that's blowing apart. I need to order some new race gloves. Last weekend's race gloves, I'd ordered these impacts, and I like the feel of them, but I don't like that they don't have a strappable wrist, and I got fat meat hooks. So, very tough to put on. Megan had to help me almost every round, or Tyler helped me every round. It was very difficult. Let's see, my driver's side door, we caught that on the curb backing up on our first pass. There's no turnaround spot at Hartstorn. Folded the door back, so it needs a little bit of repair work, which here it is. So it broke off our lip we have right here. Kind of helps seal it behind the front clip so it doesn't get air inside. And it started to separate that piece there. So I need to fix that. And then I think I'm gonna order a McCamus door hinge kit. That's usually what I use, but this last time the doors already had these little mounts on them. In the interest of just working with what I had, because I had time to build it, I just kind of built this kind of lattice work here to hold the doors. Well, when it opened up all the way on the driver's side, it crushed these two bars. Here, I'll just go over there. I got the door off, so why not? Yeah, there we go. Uh-oh, tripped on a bucket. But yeah, these were straight. So it took those out, which I mean, I could either cut these off and put new ones on there, or I can just do the McCamus one, and it opens up that area quite a bit more anyways, because they are like a pancaked 3/4 tube that are really stout. So I can do those and weld them directly to the frame, or directly to the cage work, and then it'll be nice and stout. And then adjustable, because they're just one post. So if I gotta pick the door up or down or anything like that, I can just whack it with a hammer. So I like to whack things with the hammer some days. So I gotta get that done. What else I got? If I'm ever gonna double enter, I need some kind of vacuum or battery powered shop vac. So I may try one of those. We tried the Milwaukee before, and it after like a round or so, it like overheats and doesn't want to work anymore. So gotta find something else to work for that. Well, probably should put a new input shaft and drive hub on the crank drive on the Procharger. Seeing how we literally decelerated a motor with the 121, I'm sure something got stressed, so we might as well replace a couple things to preemptively prevent any issues there. Which I've got those parts aren't that bad, so I have new spares in the trailer, and I've also keep good old ones just in case. Let's see. Fix the head. So I got to do a couple inserts in the head, place that valve. I have some sensors I want to finish wiring in on the car that I've been putting on for the last month. Need to do that. The tow rig needs service. It needs a oil change and fuel filter. Let's see, what else? It's kind of really about it. I know the trailer needs some work. It's got panels tearing off the outside of it and a couple of little issues. At some point I need to replace the wood in the floor from when my toolbox tried to fall through it when we moved to this shop. Let's see. Okay, now I got some trim on the floor inside that's coming loose. Like all the screws fell out of it. I need to fix that up there. And then this panel got wrecked coming home this weekend. So, but I could tell you that they didn't insulate my trailer because I can see inside of it. Don't know how I'm gonna fix that yet. Yeah, I may just put a wide strip of aluminum over it and just kind of cover everything up and call it good. These poor enclosed trailers, they just seem to take a hell of a beating. And that dent wasn't all me. Before I got the trailer, it fell, I guess, on a curb about right there and dented all that. And then when I was moving out of my last shop, my open trailer was a little too close to the turn I was making, and the outside, I was turning left, and the outside corner went across the tongue, so it kind of made the dent a little bit more accentuated. Stuff happens. So let's see, Elvira kind of dropped the bomb there on what we're doing. Just ordered a set of Hawks 2-inch stainless headers, so I'm pretty excited for those. So they're supposed to be a direct drop-in, so that'll be neat. I do have custom motor mounts that I made on this car, so whether or not it's in the right position for them, we'll see. Or I'm going to be adjusting my motor mounts. And then we're going to do a tin rib. Let's see if I got to pull up my computer still. Whee! Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do this. Wheelies and all. So we're going to use this kit here, which works with the factory LS1 type accessories. There we go. So we're going to put an F1X right here. And then instead of air-to-air intercoolers, I'm doing some custom water air. Just kind of help keep IATs consistent under control. because we are using E85 on this car, since it's going to be a true street daily kind of car. Most of those classes do not allow the use of methanol fuels as a primary fuel type. You can use meth injection for now, but some people are talking about removing meth injection entirely, so it's kind of weird. But I mean, it's kind of what it was made for, is to help street cars and daily driver cars out to perform at their max potential all the time. So anyways, we're gonna just go ahead and nip that in the bud with water air intercoolers to make sure that we have all the cooling we need for this Procharger when it gets to zinging some boost. And then we're going to shuffle, because as you can tell, this is your radiator core support, and then the Procharger would be right behind it, and then normally they have a small tube to go right here. And I don't like bends, so I want to try to keep that part as straight as possible. It'll provide as little restriction as possible. And I like to get a volute on it, you know, one of these guys. I just lost a screw out of it. Oops, I'll find it. So what I'm going to do is we are going to shuffle the AC condenser and the radiator are going to get pushed over this way. So we start taking some measurements, try to see how far we can without having to build custom lines. So our issue is our AC lines here. At some point I may just have to build custom AC lines for it, but I'm going to try not to. I'm just going to try to bend these creatively out of the way to move them over, to move the radiator, fans, and condenser over, so that this lower corner gets opened up more to allow good straight airflow into it. And then I'm going to run probably a dual 3-inch into a single 4-inch Y pipe, or maybe a 3.5-inch Y pipe underneath the car with long tube headers. And then I'm going to put one of the boost actuated loud valves I have. So basically this car will run all of its exhaust through the tailpipe out the back, which I think I want to build custom aluminum exhaust for that, help keep the weight down. And then I will build a custom aluminum muffler to go with that. That's my plan. So I gotta get some packing for that, and then I'll make one of those up and kind of make like a glass pack style muffler. I may try, I don't know, I'll look at some different designs and see how I want to do it. But plan on doing that to kind of help keep the weight down, keep the noise down still. And then when we go into boost, around 7-8 pounds of boost, then the loud valves will automatically twist in the open position and then proceed to blow everybody's eardrums out probably. Sorry to myself. Luckily this car has carpet in it, or will have carpet in it. It doesn't have carpet right now, but it will. So we've got our roll of custom race carpet that will be chopping and laying in there in a little bit. Help keep that down, and then I'll probably put some sound deadener over the or some dyno mat over where the exhaust cutouts will be to kind of help a little bit on the sound. But overall that'll help keep the weight down. So just gonna do everything I can to keep the weight down and make her competitive while still being able to drive it around as much as I want. So that's the goal. It's gonna be kind of obnoxious because we're gonna have you know, Procharger race valves on it, and those boys, I mean, that thing's moving some air, so I mean it's gonna be pretty loud driving around. So because we'll be having RPMs, we won't be having no boost because it'll be a part throttle. So I'm excited. I've always wanted a daily driven blower car, so I'm kind of pumped. It's a build I haven't ever done for myself, so I'll get it done, and then hopefully not grenade it a million times before Megan gets to drive it in a while, a year or so, and then start her off easy and then work her way into it. So the little blowers are more reliable. A friend of mine has a couple thousand miles and probably like 400 passes on his F1X. So with proper maintenance, it should last just fine. It's not as much mass slinging around as what we have with the race stuff. And we're not asking so much of it all the time. So we're not going to be making the same amount of boost. I predict we'll probably make 34 to 38 pounds of boost with this car. It might end up being in the 40s, but my prediction is probably mid 30s on the boost. And we can pull it down, and it'll be belt driven. So that also helps with any kind of frequency transmission in the motor, and helps with you know, any vibrations back to the blower and back and forth. So that belt acts as your dampener to kind of help clean all that up. There's a possibility of belt slip, but this bracket that Procharger came out with for this kit, if anybody's been following these kits for the last 20 years, they used to not even have a spring-loaded tensioner on them. And that was kind of a nice commodity to have that other companies are coming out with. And then it got redesigned and finally got one. And I did dyno a car with one not too long ago. And I was like, man, you know, that would probably fit pretty nice. I saw that tensioner. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. Because I'd lost touch with them. So I was like, that's pretty neat. I was like, I'm going to try that, but let's throw a big boy blower on it. So I think that it should work. So if it doesn't, I'll come up with another plan. We'll move the blower around. If I have to, I'll do a split radiator, and that F1X will just kind of just move over here into the front with a crank drive. So it just makes it a little harder to do my accessories. So, because there's some bolts that get shared and used up with the crank drive that have to get kind of created to make work. Second enemy to blowers is going to be, like I said, you know, you got your air inlet, you got your drive, you got your head pressure. So your basically a restriction between the blower and the motor itself. So we're going to do twin 1200 horsepower intercoolers from Frozen Boost. So these guys are kind of, they're kind of on the budget side of things, and they got cast aluminum end tanks, so they're a little heavier than, you know, a fabricated end tank would be. But they're simple and they're pretty effective. So just like that other kit on Procharger site, we'll come out of the blower, we'll split. I'll go in the blower or into the intercoolers here, come out, and then it'll merge our throttle body. So I think that'll work really well, keeping the head pressure down. Shouldn't really lose any boost from the charger to the intake at that point. I mean, maybe a pound or so, nothing bad. And then have some nice IATs for the E85 to comfortably add fuel to, and then we can get up on the timing and make some power. So, well, kind of excited. So, it'd be cool to have that one done probably end of July. Probably something I do if I stay in town while kind of waiting for Henry's eviction date, as Megan puts it. It's kind of an odd concept. Evacuation, eviction, whatever. She's landlord. She treats her tenant however she wants. So, but that's it for right now.